Sing along because we will make a call. Touch your hand and sing. It sounds so pure, it's ambition brings. mute some of that really bad singing. It's all right. Okay, everyone. Put your cameras on. Brilliant. Welcome to Western Australian March Online STS. Fantastic turnout, guys. We're in for an absolute treat today. So you're not going to hear from me for very long. So my name's Gav Morgan, President's team with Herbalife here in Perth. Really excited about our guest today. And I'm loving how everyone's come together too, guys, with the Herbalife community and the fact that we can see each other's faces now and self-isolate, and we're 1.5 meters away from each other. That's just good. So if you're in a room, move apart, etc. But really excited for our special guest today. We're going to hear from Ellen in a minute. And then guys, we're going to hand it over to Sophie Derrick. So we've got two absolute superstars today, and Sophie's going to tell us some really cool stuff that's happening in her business. And then I'm just going to finish off with some stuff that's happening, coming forward. A few promotions that we probably need to know about, guys. So just a little bit about Ellen. Oh, before that, so look, let's not waste this opportunity. I would really make sure that you're focusing on what Ellen's going to have to say here, because she showed me a list of her notes last night, and look, Ellen always delivers absolute gold. So, but the knowledge she has and the skill set she has, and the way she's able to train it in a simple manner, that's the thing I love about it. So it's almost like you get up there and you go, wow, if she could do this, then anyone can do it. It's like, hey, I'm Ellen, I can do this, I don't know if you guys know Ellen's story much, but she's a millionaire team member. She's always been an incredible retailer, and she's always had this incredible ability to get a customer really going and excited about the business and grow an amazing team and duplicate. And that, for me, that's one of the most difficult things to do. And I know we've got members on this call, we've got supervisors, and we've got press team on this call, but I think the great thing you'll find today with Ellen's training, it doesn't matter where you're at, the way she delivers it, you'll be able to understand it completely. So when you're coming on, make sure you're muted, guys, and while Ellen's talking, etc. So as Jim Rowan said, let's lean forward on our seat, get your notepad out, and take some fantastic notes from Ellen, but then implement what she's going to have to say. I don't know if you know, but Ellen did over 12,000 volume points last month. She's on 6,000 volume points this month already. So I couldn't think of anyone better to tell us what to do. So Ellen, come on down. It's all over to you, mate. And hopefully when you share your screen, it'll work. So thanks very much for doing this, Elle. And over to you.
Thank you, Gav. Just as you were speaking, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to write down one more note. I just remembered one more thing that I absolutely have to share with you guys. So I'll just try to share my screen. Can you guys see it? One sec. Yes.
Yeah, yes, we can.
Yay, awesome. Okay. Thank you everyone for listening. I'm pretty excited. For the last probably 90 days, or since Adelaide, I've been so fired up, and I just kind of found within me what I actually wanted from Herbalife again, because over the years it'll completely change, and I think everyone just has to really remember that it's so exciting to be fired up about this month and today and tomorrow, but it is also like a lifestyle business. Like, you are going to be around for a long time, because it is such an amazing thing to have a part of your life. And so, yeah, since Adelaide, my mind was just blown by the guest speakers, and I've been writing notes and notes and notes. Every time I think of something that I want to share with my team or anyone else, I've been writing it down. So I've got so much to go through today, and I really hope that you guys have pens and papers, and are really fired up to hear some really simple ways that I've been able to grow my business, and especially in the last 90 days. So I'll tell you my story for those who don't know me. There's so many people on the call who are brand new, so welcome. This is really exciting. So this is me before Herbalife. So this is about 6 weeks after I had my first baby. I put on 30 kilos in my first pregnancy, but I was already 25 to 30 kilos overweight starting the pregnancy. So I was kind of really down when I felt pregnant, because I was like, oh no, I'm going to put on even more weight. although being excited about having a baby, of course. So yeah, after my first baby, I started on the products. Within 3 days, I had a huge energy shift. I had like a big, people say that all the time, but this was like next level for me. I used to sleep like 15, 16 hours a day, always tired, always groggy, always sick, always had colds and flus. And so within 3 days, I had this big black cloud lift off my head. And it wasn't just energy. It felt like my fuse was longer. I was just happier. I was just nicer to be around because I had more energy, I guess. Like, it's actually so impactful to your life, feeling that bit better. And I want you to remember that, to be able to teach other people that when you're scared about, so by the way, I'm going to tell you some of my notes and lessons throughout stories for you guys to write down. So don't just drift off into a story. Actually really think about the way I'm telling you, because sometimes the way I'm telling you is for you to copy and go and do the same when you're talking to people. So you really have to remember that if you're scared about approaching someone about using the products, remember that they could be dog tired, like so tired every day, feeling so crap and so miserable, and they don't know how well they can feel. And that's the power that Herbalife products have. And I want you to always remember that, because that's the most important part of the whole business. So yeah, for me, I went on to lose 10 kilos in 6 weeks, and then, which is like not typical, individual results may vary. But yeah, like that was just mind-blowing to me. I'd never lost a kilo successfully ever. And then went on to lose 50 kilos in a year, and then had another baby and another baby. And so I've just had another baby 1 year ago, and so I've been on my weight loss journey again. So I've lost 56 kilos in total. So I've lost that initial 50 and then an extra 6. And more recently, I just had another baby, and so I had to lose a bit of baby weight again, and I lost 7.8 kilos in the last 8 weeks, which has been so exciting because I got married last weekend, and I really just wanted to feel good, you catch a photo of yourself, and like I got some photos in Adelaide, and I was feeling really good about myself, and then saw some pics, and I was like, oh man, like I don't want to look like this at my wedding. I feel good, but I feel like I could look better. So yeah, so I went on and lost an extra almost 8 kilos, which was my goal for the wedding, and I felt so beautiful in my dress, and I just felt so good all day. And not only that, guys, it's just more about, like, if you stick to, tell your clients this too, by the way, the feeling that you get when you stick to something that you said you were going to do and you do it, that feeling of like pride in yourself is literally priceless. That is the best feeling. It's better than eating the chips. Like when you're like, no, I can do this, and then the next day you're like, I did it, that's the best feeling. So try to fire your clients up by reminding them how good they're actually going to feel about themselves, because so many people haven't felt good about themselves in so long. They can't even remember the last time they felt good about themselves. So try to remind people constantly how good they're going to feel and how proud of themselves they're going to be. So yeah, that's my Herbalife product results. And obviously I've been using the products for so long now that I've had so many results, like a breastfeeding and pregnancy, and so many amazing things that the products have done for my body. And as well as, unwell all the time. I grew up with a blocked kidney. It was that way when I was born, and then I had kidney failure, and I spent 10 years on antibiotics, and I was a really unwell person. So trying herbs to me was like herbs. I was like, no, I need chemicals to kill the badness in my body. I was just so backwards to how Herbalife is. And so when you come across someone who's like a massive Coca-Cola drinker and they live off Maccas and stuff like that, there is hope. Give them the hope, because Herbalife is so good for everyone. So because of my results, I started getting a couple of people saying wow, you look good, or not even that yet, because I had so much to lose. It was more like, you're so much happier today, at work, you're so bubbly, what's going on? And so I just through my just raw passion for the products, I just started sharing with people what I was doing with no thought in mind about business. And Jess Morgan and Gav Morgan, they're my coaches, and I was like, these people I want the products, and Jess was like, you should just do the business, you're on maternity leave. And I was like, okay, well, all right, why not? I didn't think really twice about it. I was like, what's the worst that could happen? I was already going to sign up to be a member to get the products cheaper. I already love the products. If it fails, who cares, And that's kind of the mindset you guys have to have. Like, if you put it out there and it doesn't go well, cool, whatever, like just relax. It will one day. But yeah, so I started the business. I went to an STS. How cool is it, by the way, that we're doing this online, because I live 4 hours away. Woohoo! Yeah, so I started the business. I went to the STS and I literally had my mind blown. Like, it wasn't even about the business and the money that I heard at the STS. It was like about how many people these products had helped. It wasn't just me. I was, you know, when you feel so good and you're like, I just want someone else to feel this good. Am I crazy? Is this stuff really this good? And then there's a room full of people who love it. You're like, oh my God, like, yes. So I came home. I had a business launch, which I didn't even know what that was, but I had my coach come and share, and I've already got a child coming in. Yay. Hang on one sec. Archie, downstairs. So anyway, I'll just pretend this didn't happen. So yeah, I went home, had my business launch, and I did everything my coach said, because I really had no idea. I was 22 at the time. I didn't really know anything about really anything. When you think back to you 22, you don't really know anything about anything, no offense. And I just did everything she said because I didn't know what else to do. And yeah, so I invited, write this down because this is what you're going to do. So I invited 40 people face to face. I gave them a piece of paper invitation, and I invited everyone on my Facebook, everyone, not the select 11 that you're not scared to ask, everyone. And I had 12 people come on the day, and I had 11 people, ended up being 12, 11 people buy on the day. And then following up from everyone who didn't come to my party, I made $2,500 in 24 hours. And that was more than I'd made in a month at the bank. And then I went on to make $3,500 in my first month. And there I was off. I was like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. Do you reckon you could just give me 2 seconds to get rid of my child? 1 second.
Go for it. Don't you love this working from home, guys? Like it. This is how brilliant it is we can do this business. How brilliant Ellen is just doing what she's doing and kids around. So I love the fact that this is our business, that anyone can do this. And this is why Herbalife's so attractive, because this is how it is. Like, we do Zoom calls all the time. There's kids climbing on people and stuff. So I love it. So no, Ellen, don't stress at all. This is what
I'm back.
So good stuff.
Thank you, guys. Sorry. I shouldn't have to be sorry. He's so cute. But anyway, yeah, so what was I saying? So I had my business launch, made $3,500, and I just was in for life. Like, this business is so powerful. I worked at a bank 40 hours a week, absolutely miserable, in a glass box, and I just thought this was it. Like, this is a career. I can't quit now, because what else am I going to do? And then this thing came along that I could be at home with my baby, I could make money, and, you know, to me that was just incredible. And so I started just really plugging people into all the events, because I lived far away, and within 2 years I was making $20,000 a month, and within like 2 years and 1 month I was making like $30,000 a month. You know, like I remember my income grew from like 10 to 16 to 21 to 22 to 30 to 35,000 within 5 months, kind of thing. Like, it was.
That's amazing. Ellen, can you put your video on? Because we got much as I love Janelle, we've got a photo of Janelle up there instead of you. So
yeah, I don't know why. Sorry.
Thank you.
You know, so that was so crazy for me, obviously, because like I live in or for anyone it would be. I live in a tiny town I live in an even smaller one now. So at the time I lived in Margaret River, and, you know, even the big real estate agents, like the fancy guys at the local bar who were, you know, rich, they didn't make that kind of money, you know? So that was just so crazy to be making in such a small town. And like, I just feel so grateful that I have been able to live this amazing life doing Herbalife and like traveling the world. And I just need to make clear that, like, when I started, I was like this girl on the left. Like, I was so overweight. And what comes with being overweight, if you do not know, is a pretty bad attitude. Like, and I see it now in people who are still there. And I just have so much empathy, because you have to be patient with these people because it's like so hard. Like every day sucks when you're really overweight. Like it's true. And they may say things that you don't like, your clients who are overweight, and you know, you feel a bit triggered by what they say, but it's always just coming from pain. And when I started, like, I wasn't this positive person who speaks on stage and loves life. Like I was miserable, and I still could make this work. And that's what I think is this opportunity is so powerful to so many people, is because anyone can do this no matter where you're at. So some people may just join and gun it, and that just means like they get it. And some people take 10 years to get it, but it doesn't actually matter. Like if you're still in it, you're going to be around every event. You're going to hear something that's going to click and change your life. And I've had several of those moments over the years, but I had so much to learn. And I think like when you see someone on stage and they're so amazing, you don't actually really see the struggle behind how they got there and who they were originally. Like I used to bring people to the STS, and there'd be beautiful girls walking everywhere in high heels, and my country girls who were like overweight still and just uncomfortable would be intimidated. And you just have to remember that like this is just one day of the month. Like every other day of the month, we're at home with our kids or at work just doing the daily grind. And I want to remind everyone that like no matter where you're at right now, this is the right place to be at the right time. Like it is so incredible what's happening in the world. Like it's so mental. It's hard to even fathom. And then we have this opportunity that we can work from home, make an income, help people make money, help people get healthy with no contact, like no contact to people with the coronavirus. No, like, you know, we're doing everything all from home, and we're not at risk. You know, it's like the most amazing opportunity. And like, I just want everyone to really know what you have your hands on before I get into the training, because it's so amazing. Like I, in the last 5 years, have been through the most crazy stuff. Like my business went crazy at first and I made so much money, and I still make amazing money. And all those years that things were crazy, I made amazing money thanks to Herbalife and the work that I put in. But you know, like shit does happen, no offense. Like things happen, and I ended up getting separated and then divorced. And you know, I'd been with someone since I was a child, like high school. And then I was alone all of a sudden. And then I had to figure out what I wanted and who I was. And I struggled with anxiety and depression, and really, really bad anxiety. Now that I look back at it, I didn't realize at the time. And so throughout all of that, if I didn't have the Herbalife community and the events and like things that I could tap into when I felt good, you know, I don't know where I would be. And I see the saddest things happen to other people, and they don't have what I have. Like they don't have this Herbalife. And so now my why has completely changed. It's not about making money and being free, because I'm already financially free in Herbalife. I live a really cruisy life, and that's what I want. And I don't necessarily have like crazy income goals, but I have crazy impact goals, and I want to impact as many people as I can. I like have been playing small for the last 5 years, sorting my own stuff out, and now I'm like sick of that. I want to help as many people as possible. I want that feeling of like of an impact, you know, like of making all these people contacting you saying like my life has changed. That is the most amazing feeling. So that's why I'm here now. And I really encourage you guys to get to the reason within you that you really want this, because people stand up and say it's for their kids or whatever. And for sure, that's a motivator. But for me, that's not what it's about anymore. Like my kids are sweet, I'm sweet. It's about like helping everyone I know have what we have. Like we're so lucky when you see things happening in the world and you're like, man, we're going to Hamilton Island this year, like just for free, you know, like we have the best life. So yeah, I want you guys to write down your actual goals and what you really, really want out of this, because this can be the vehicle to get everything you've ever wanted in your life. And I think that that is just priceless. So I've had some amazing highs and some amazing lows in the business, and I want you all to really appreciate that the Herbalife will be there the whole time. So this is one of the biggest, highest, top moments of my career, as I got to meet Michael O. Johnson. He was the CEO at the time, and he wanted to meet with 5 people from the whole of Asia Pacific, and I was the one picked from Australia, and that was just like the craziest experience. And I'm like from the smallest town, and I'm like the biggest dingus, and then the CEO wants to meet me. Like, it was so weird. I was like blown away. And yeah, we got to sit down for like 15 minutes or half an hour, and he just asked me, what are you doing in your business? How is it growing, you know? And it just gave me a really good feeling about how us in WA and Australia, how we run our businesses is exactly how the CEO wants us to run them. Like, that was just really validating to know that we're on the right track. And so anything that he said to me, he's really saying to you guys as well, because we're all doing the same system. It was just really, really cool. You know, and I think the whole part about that is that, yes, that was so crazy, but then all these terrible things happen in your real life, and you're like, oh my God, how am I ever going to get back to that? And the answer, if you guys are in a funk, is there's 2 answers. One of them is personal development. So listening to podcasts, listening to YouTube videos, listening to Mark Hughes, Jim Rohn. I really love this podcast by Melissa Ambrosini. There's like 300 of them on the Apple iTunes, the Apple app, and they're all so positive, all about different things, you know, like, so watching what you're feeding your mind, because if you're feeding it with everything that's in Facebook and everything that's in Instagram, you have no control with what you're putting in. You're waking up and looking at your phone, you're run by notifications, and you should be running your business. Like, you should be running your notifications, and you should be running what you put in your mind. So that's one of them. So write that down. I want to see everyone's head down. Gav, put your head down. Write down those notes. And then, and then the other thing is events and being around other Herbalife people, because it can be nothing they even say. Just like feeling welcomed into a circle of people at the STS is like the nicest feeling ever, you know, and reminds you, yes, I love this stuff. So those are the 2 things that I really recommend if you feel like you're in a funk in life. And these are my babies. I just thought I'd show them because they're so cute. And just to remind people that, like, we can make amazing money and travel the world and have this lavish lifestyle, but really at the end of the day, I'm changing nappies. I'm telling kids to stop fighting, you know, like, life's still really, really normal. But I am really grateful that we get to, you know, do school run and do all these amazing things with the kids whenever we want, and really choose your DMOs around the children. I feel like that's really, really special. Okay, so I'm going to get into a bit of training. I just wanted to really set it up before I go so hard and tell you so many things really fast. But one thing I want to say before I go into all of this is what I wrote down when Gav was talking. What I got out of Adelaide is how you do one thing is how you do everything. And me and a couple of the girls that we went with were talking about that exact thing. And we were like, okay, so sitting down and watching TV while the kids rest or nap during the day, like, is that really going to be getting you any closer to your goals? Like, so we made a pact between ourselves that we would not watch TV during the day at all. And so TV's off. The only thing that's going into our minds is positivity, podcasts, personal development, because we wanted that to be like, if you're half-assing everything in your life, like, that's, your business is going to be half-assed and your distributors are going to be half-assed, you know? So like, write that down. How you do one thing is how you do everything. And I really remembered in Adelaide that it's about intensity and passion. No one's going to buy products from someone who kind of cares. Like, you have to be so passionate. They say that your people will only be, I think it's 20% or 10%, not much, 10% as excited as you. So if you're like pretty uninterested, they're going to be extremely uninterested. So really, it all starts with how you are and your intensity and how you're feeling about your products and your opportunity. Because someone told me that, write this down as well. I play it in my head every single day. Someone told me that you have to be so passionate about your product or service. So this goes for anything, product or service, that you feel like you're doing a disservice to the people you don't share it with. So if you were like, I don't know, I can't think of an example except Herbalife because it's so amazing. But like, you are doing a disservice to people if you're too scared to share a product with someone that's because that's about you. You're making it about you. It's not fair for that person because they could be struggling with their health or their finances so badly. And because you're scared, that's just like, you know, you've made it about you and it's not about you. You don't make Herbalife in your backyard. Like, this is a company that has 40 years worth of history behind it, that all you have to do is share it. You know, I don't know why people get so scared about sharing it, because it's not your product that you've made in your kitchen. It's Herbalife's. They've done all the work, the science, the research, everything. All you have to do is share it. So this is my little system that I've been doing for the last couple of 90 days / 9 years. So I've just really simplified it. I think the only thing that's not simple is you're working on yourself and what your problems are. Like, that's the only difference, because the products are simple, the business is simple, that what you have to do to be successful is simple. The only thing that's not simple is working through your own madness. Like, we all have it, let's be honest. Okay, so step 1 is sell a pack. Okay, so it seems really obvious, but what do you have to do to sell a pack? You have to become attractive, not in the sense of beautifulness. I mean, you have to become something that people want to be around. People want positivity. They crave positivity. They crave happiness, and they crave like the light at the end of the tunnel. So you have to become that yourself, okay? Because the products just sit in the shelf otherwise. So becoming attractive is really important. No one wants to be inspired by the person who constantly whinges, you know? If they whinge a little bit less than you, now you're the biggest whinger on earth. So you have to be so positive all the time, no matter what happens in life. It's honestly no problem. All you have to do is just stay positive. So this is the steps. So once you've sold a pack to someone, you have to get them to love it as soon as possible. So that is follow-up. Okay, so you can break this down into so many different terms, but I'm just going to keep it simple. Sell a pack, get them to love it ASAP. So whatever that means for them, everyone is completely different. Whether that's inspiring them about their mindset, telling them to listen to positive things, or whether that's giving them shopping lists or telling them what to change in their dinner. You know, like, it's different for everyone, but you have to work with them, like communicate. If something that you struggle with is communication, then listen to a podcast or read a book about communication. Like, get better at it. These are just things that you have to do to become the best at what you do. Okay, so get them to love it ASAP. I find that a lot of what I hear from clients is mindset stuff. So if you're not doing anything to help your mindset, you're not going to be able to recommend anything because it's not fresh in your mind. So I find that's probably the most powerful, because people think like, I don't deserve it, or I'm a loser or whatever. They're thinking these horrible things. Telling them to change milks isn't going to change that mindset, you know? So like recommending something for them to do or listen to, like the things I've said on here, don't just listen to Instagram all day. That is going to help them get over something, and they are going to love the products even more. So sell a pack, get them to love it ASAP. Then I say there's a couple of different ways you can do this, but I want to upgrade them. Okay, so lately I've been using the term brand ambassador, which has been really powerful, because it's like a cool word that Instagram people use, but really it just sounds like simple, like you can do it, no obligations, and that's what Herbalife actually is. So that means becoming a Herbalife member. So I've been putting it out there. Some people have asked me what I say. I literally say, do you want to become a brand ambassador? It just means you get it cheaper. All you have to do is a couple of things, and don't overcomplicate it. Okay. Write down what I just said, because if you send them a spiel about your vision and everything, like, you're making it too complicated. Do they want to get a discount? Do a couple of things, maybe make a bit of income? Cool. Okay, that's all you have to do. Like, you don't have to explain everything. And then obviously if you're pitching for someone to be a coach, so you can call it brand ambassador VIP, or if you think someone wants to earn a proper income, a coach, then you're just using different lingo. But you really just want to get them excited, like get them on the products, get them excited about the products, and then upgrade them. So before they do a reorder, like you want them loving their products before they're on their reorder, and then you're going to sign them up as a VIP. Once they're signed up, this is the next few steps, okay? So you're going to show them, it's not on the slide, but I just remembered it. You're going to show them the discounts. So just say like, by the way, if you get you can write this down. By the way, if you get like this month's worth of Herbalife next month and the month after, or you and your hubbies for a month and a half's worth, like just jumble your words around to make it make sense. It's 3 packs, gets them to 35%. So 500 volume points. So you want to be practicing a set of words that comes natural to you. So 3 months worth, 35%. You get 6 months worth, 42%. That's a success builder order. So you don't want to be like making it confusing for them with the points and not do that. Like talk about the points when it's in, they're placing it in their login. Okay. For now, just be like, it's 6 packs worth. And they're like, oh, cool. That's you and your hubby's 3 months worth of products. Boom. You know, and that's 1,000 volume points. So you want to get them excited about being that brand ambassador or VIP, making that little bit of extra money. And yeah, just getting them pumped about their discount and then sharing their results. So whatever it is, I shared a girl who's a brand ambassador. She might be on here. I hope so. Ash, so cool. Yeah, so I got her to share her result on day 5 because she was loving the products, using them properly. She looked like her belly was so round she couldn't fit in her pants, and then she could get in her pants. And she took a photo before and after. Boom, shared her result. Boom, added people to the client page, and now she's on fire, you know. So share the result. The next one is add 50, send 50. So basically I get them to add 50 people to our client group and send those 50 people. I don't like send them this little message. It says, hey, should I actually read it to you? Or I can post it on the WA Homs group after. But this is actually from Lee. Thanks, Lee. So one sec. It says, hey Dal, how are you? I hope you're well. You might have noticed that I'm partnered with Herbalife as a brand ambassador after I lost 2 kilos last week or whatever it is. I was so inspired to help people get in the best shape of their lives, create healthy habits and work on their mindset. I was doing some reflecting on who I could reach out to and I thought of you. We have an amazing group on Herbalife, group on Facebook that can give you a better idea of what we are up to. So I'll add you now and you can have a little look through. If you'd like some info on our programs or think of anyone who's looking for a wellness solution, please let me know. Always happy to chat. So that's like so simple. It's just like gives them exactly what they did, you know, like added them to the group. And so adding 50 people and sending 50 messages is going to get you business. Like it is. You reach out to 50 people, someone's going to buy a pack, someone's going to be interested, you know. So I will post that on the WA Homs group for everyone. But yeah, so I think that's like the next step. What I used to always do was have a business launch straight away, but sometimes like that is just quicker, like 72 hours, get some money in that person's pocket, you know. And before you freak them out and bring them to an SDS and tell them everything about everything and overwhelm them, that's their only job. Add 50, send 50. And then it's like, boom, they've got business happening and they don't even know anything. They're not overwhelmed by it because you haven't scared them into telling them exactly what's going to happen forever, you know? I just find that is working really, really well for my new people. I can't remember how many people I've signed up in the last little while, probably like around 10 because I qualified for a promo, thanks. And that's what I've been doing. And it's getting the whole client group really fired up, getting them all excited about their new results. And, you know, like it's really, really good. And then as the coach, this is what you're going to do, is you're going to share all their stuff as well. Like I'm so proud of Ash. She's lost 1 kilo in her first week. She's already got 2 people on the products too. She's already made $200 or whatever it is. And then you post that. And so something that people don't realize is when you sell a pack, take a photo of that, of those products, of that package, of you marking it up. Like people want to see other people buying it too. Like, so you're not just some random Herbalife crazy lady. They want to see other people getting involved as well. So every time you think of you're doing something that is a win, share that as well, because that is attractive to other people. Okay, so and then the next job for Ash and all these other newbies is to get to an event. So obviously we're doing online events right now, so hopefully she is on. If not, she will be listening to this recording. Hello. And, you know, so getting them to something that's around other Herbalife people it's called Expose. So like this, I've just stepped you through upgrade, blah, blah, blah. Involve, expose, upgrade. So this is to expose them to everything that is Herbalife that is not just you. And then what you want to do is get them really excited about that event, get them a business launch booked in, and then next. So that will take you one day, you know, to run through those steps. And then don't just sit there hoping that that girl will do everything forever, you know. Next, like you want to be doing this with 10 people all the time. It's not about, okay, cool, and this is her goals, and then that's going to happen, and then she's going to be pres team this year, and I don't have to do anything. Like, that's not how the business works. You may have to go through this 500,000 times before you get the pres team person. Hopefully not that many. Well, I don't reckon that many, but anyway, 500 times. So you want to be just powering through it, like getting new people, getting them excited. This is what you want to be doing all day, every day. Like, add 50, send 50. I say the same things all day to my new people, all day. And then I say the same, and then I explain to my existing coaches what I'm doing with those new people all day, every day. Does that make sense? I'm hoping that that is really, really simple, because it's really just like get them excited about the products, get them signed up, add 50 people, book in a business launch. Next. You want to be like out of control busy. Okay, so mapping is the next part. So I've popped up here on this. I want everyone to do this. There's a little picture here of it's called Tree View on BizWorks. So if you don't have BizWorks, download BizWorks, because I really wanted to do this at the STS on a whiteboard for you, but we are online right now. So what you want to do is get a big piece of paper, have your tree view ready, and then I want you to just draw, see the little black and blue circles here? I can't see my cursor. There. I want you to draw that out on a big piece of paper. That's everyone's homework for today. Okay? And so if you've only got 2 people, that's so cool. How exciting. Okay? Now you've got 2 people that you can work with. So you're going to draw a circle. Look at my face now. You're going to draw a circle of you, and then your 2 people in little circles. And now what you're going to want to do is talk to those people about who they know. Because it's not, my business is not a line of my best friends, you know, like that's not how it worked. It was, hey, who do you know that can get on these products? Hey, who do you know that can get into this business? Hey, who can we talk to that you know? Like, my whole business is just like friends of friends, not necessarily my best friends, you know? So the idea of mapping is to see what could actually happen. And so I want you to draw these circles and then draw extra circles around them of the 5 imaginary people they're going to bring into the business. And then write their names if they're real, and if they're imaginary, don't worry. And then do it with the other person. And then you'll see how quickly this can grow. It's exponential growth. It's going to go boom, boom, boom. So I think it's really, really exciting to do this. And you can do it with clients, and you can do it with your supervisors, and you can do it with your members. It can all be very separate. But every couple of days, I remap out how I'm going to get my personal volume. So that is my customers and my referrals. And really, like, every time one of your people post something, look at every single person who liked it, and then tell your member, hey, have you contacted all those people? Like, remind them, because they're brand new. Okay. And then same with when you post something, look at every single person who liked it, and then have you messaged every single person? Like Mel Martin said to us on the last STS, she was talking to me and Lee outside, and she was like, have you messaged every single person on your friends list? And we were like, no. And she's like, why not? Like, what have you been doing? We were like, oh my gosh, like, we have so much work to do. That's really how simple it is. Like, really, you just have to get over that fear that's inside you to step outside your box and go and say, hey, and I'll send you that message. Like, send everyone that message. Send 10 a day, 20 a day, 30 a day, you know? Like, the more you can build relationships with more people is like how likely you are going to grow your business. Oh, my slides are finished, but I'll go back. 1 second, I have plenty more notes. Okay, so just try to like be a very, very good student. This is really important as well. Like, when I started, I just listened to everything Jess told me to do, and I just did it all. Like, it was really, really, it was a no-brainer. It's not like going out and trying to recreate the wheel and trying to find your own way to do everything. Just do everything your coach says. If nothing's happening yet, it's because you haven't done the last thing your coach told you to do. Like, all this stuff that I share with you now, if you don't go and do it, the business is not going to happen. Like, it doesn't, I'm not saying at all. Like, I just mean you can't just sit there and business comes to you. If you post one photo and then tell 2 people that you're doing Herbalife, like, it doesn't happen like that. You have to learn the art of promotion. So write this down as well. You have to practice promoting now. This is your job from now on. It is not for Jess and Gav to do constantly, for me to do, Janelle to do, Rhonda to do. Like, it is from you, like the new member, that's your job now. So you learn how to promote events. So the STSs, the Zoom calls in your teams, whatever you're doing, the extravaganzas, the spectaculars, you have to find a set of words that works for you, even if you have not been. So I took someone to my first spectacular because I was so excited about going to the spectacular, and I promoted to her to come. Do whatever you can do to be there. Because sadly, it is very hard to stay motivated in your own little town, in your own little house, when you're just surrounded by negativity. Like, if you look around, a lot of people are pretty miserable. You have to be getting to those events, and the only way to get your people to see what you've seen is for you to become a master promoter. And I think that is really where the money lies. Write this down. The money lies in promotion, because it is very, very powerful. People don't get it. People don't see what you see just by you saying one sentence. You have to really put the effort in. There's some amazing promoters like Joanna and Sophie and Jess Harper and Jess and Gav, and like so many people are so incredible at it. Copy what they are doing from day one as a member. Like, this is what you need to start doing to really, really grow. Because I went to my first 10 STSs with the same girl, and I did the same amount of volume every month. And then I invited probably the last 3 of those STSs that no one came, but I was promoting and inviting. I kind of finally got it. You go to enough STSs by yourself that you're like, I don't want to do this anymore, especially living 4 hours away. Why would I drive up to hear the same stuff for myself? Okay. You want to be having your new people hear that, to have their minds blown. I hope you guys are writing this down, because this is legit where the money is. So you want to be bringing all those people so they feel what you feel. So you have created your own little Ellens in all these little towns, Ellens. And they're out there saying, you got to come to this. You got to come to this. That is where your business explodes, because it's really, really hard. Otherwise, I find it. And yeah, so those last 3 STSs, I invited people, they didn't come. And then I had 13 people come on to one, because I promoted so hard. I wonder if you guys remember that team photo. I was so proud. But yeah, like, having those 13 people came, my business went boom. Like, I did 10K for the first time. My business went to active world team really, really fast after that, because it was like, they get it now. Like, you can't do 200,000 volume by yourself. Like, you need these people to be fired up as well. And that's the only way you can do it. Because sometimes your members are like your children, and they will not listen to you anymore. You know, like, they will get bored of hearing the same things, and they need to hear it from other people. Like, my people in this call probably like, yeah, we know Ellen, but that's fine, because they're going to hear from Sophie after, and they're going to be like, my mind's blown, you know, and vice versa. So I feel like that is such a really, really important thing. And, you know, being a good student, which is like, just do everything that you hear. Like, keep trying. Stop like thinking I'm too good for that, or sitting back going, yeah, it's all right for her. This is another thing that really helped me, is I used to sit there and listen to Kim Bromer and Joanna Guino and Jess Morgan. And I'd be like, Jess is so good at this. It's easy for her. Joanna hates this. Joanna's so pretty. It's so easy for her. Kim's a businessman. It's so easy for him. And you can sit there and do that to every single person you hear speak for years. You can let that cripple you and destroy your business. Or you can just change that mindset and say, actually, they have probably struggled too, like I am struggling. Anyone can do this. I'm going to do it. That's something that I learned at Extravaganza. I saw hundreds of people go on stage for President's Team, Get Team, Millionaire Team, all just like very humble beginnings people. And I was like, okay, it's not just Joanna, Kim, and Jess. Anyone really can do it. And that's, and again, one of the powers of events. yeah, you can really let that destroy it for you. One moment, please. Okay. What you need to do is be so prepared to have 50 clients. If someone gave you 50 clients right now, you have to be sure what you're going to do. And I think taking a photo of this screen or a system that you see in place is really important for the next person. So you got 50 clients right now. Okay, cool. What are you going to do with them? And you can't be, like so busy sending them every single thing, constantly answering every single question, because you're not going to have the time. It's going to burn you out. So having the system in place, keeping it simple from now is what's so important. So that's what I mean by plugging people into events, plugging people into a client page, plugging people into a Zoom call. Then you're not explaining every single little thing forever. Does that make sense? Otherwise, you're going to be burnt out. I did it, trust me. Okay, another thing that I really see pretty often is people so the difference, the gap between being inspired on a call and being inspired at an event, and then your success in between that moment that you're like, wow, mind blown, and what pin you want, the difference in that gap, that is the work. That's where all the hard work is. So you can't, every time you go to something and you hear something that blows your mind, if you do nothing, you will never get to that. The work in between is what really matters. That's like integral part of your business. So you want to be making sure that you're working on yourself. So in that time, you're ready for when you get that pin. And another thing is, like, I've really found this recently. A lot of people have a really confusing relationship with money. Like, I definitely did. I've had to work on it in the last couple of years. Is that, like, society, all of us, we really have to repair our relationship that we have with money, because there's this huge, like, self-sabotage. I talk to my team about it all the time. Like, once you get it, do I deserve it? And, like, am I allowed to share it? And I made a bit of money. I'm so embarrassed. I made it off my friend, or all these things that it's just like, it's so important for you to work on. So I've really found a couple of really cool books that I will post in the group as well, that have helped me repair the relationship that I have with money, to know that money actually comes and goes. And so it comes and goes and comes and goes and comes and goes. And if you are, like, so attached to something and then it changes and you're broken and then you can never do the business again, that's going to really destroy you. Or if you've made one sale and you're like, yes, I made $200, and then they only order a shake next month, you're going to be heartbroken, because you're really relying on that money. Like, I feel like so many people really need to focus on the actual relationship that they have with money, and that's how more is going to come in. They talk about it in this book, like a lack mindset and then an abundance mindset, and I've heard it used in so many different terms. That one's a bit woo-woo, and then there's another one that's like different wording, but it's so important to really maybe have an assessment of how, with your partner, sit down and say, what are our beliefs when it comes to money, and what do we maybe need to work on? Because this business can make you serious coin. And if you have issues with that, or sharing your income with people that gives you nerves, you really need to maybe have a look at that within yourself, because that's another thing. Like, I literally just messaged people and said, like, I made $3,500 my first month. You should do this too. And you have to be okay with saying that. That's so important with our business, is because we share product results and we share income results. And I feel like if you're too scared to share the income result, who's going to join? Even if you made $11, like, people can't afford anything right now. Like, that is so powerful. And you really need to be okay with sharing exactly that. Okay. Does everyone want to get up and, like, jump up and down for 5 minutes? I actually listened to this podcast about communication, and he said humans can only can only concentrate and stay intrigued for 5 to 10 minutes maximum. I was like, oh man, I'm doing 90 minutes. So everyone get up and go, Gav, play some music, and then everyone run around your kitchen, like, do 3 laps, and then come back and we'll have some more gold to share. I don't see you running, Gav.
I'm about to get up in a minute. I've got to find some good music. I've got horrible music on my phone.
I bet you do. I've got Biggie Smalls.
Yeah, I like this one. Yeah.
This is the most inappropriate song.
There you go.
Oh my God.
Get up.
Everyone get up and run around. Do 2 laps. No.
Gotta do what you can just to keep your love alive. Try not to feel just the night I was 21. I don't know what that everywhere I go, people need some reason to believe. I don't know about anyone but me. It's alright. I don't feel alright. Everything that you smile all life. Looking out at the world, but you I don't know how to tell you all this kind of crazy life. Look around for the friends that I used to turn to. Looking into your eyes, I see you.
Okay.
All right. Hope you've had your tea. And hope
Alrighty.
you download that album, bit of Jackson Brown. It's
I was going
brilliant.
to say, what was that?
Jackson Brown, he's amazing. You got to be 50, I think, Ellen, to know what that is.
Okay, yes. Okay, so thanks, guys. I was really blown away when I heard that people could only concentrate 5 to 10 minutes. I was like, man, that sucks. Like, how's anyone, what are they doing in the STS? Just sitting there looking at the back of their eyelids. Okay, so maybe that's something you need to work on for yourself. Maybe that's something you have to get better at is, you know, becoming a little bit more attentive. People always like, because we're in this day and age of iPhones and scrolling, I feel like it's damaging our brains. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like every time you're scrolling and like you're interested for a split second and then next, you really have to, I swear that's like rewiring your brain for how attentive you are. And if you treat your business that way, it's going to respond that way. You're going to get a little bit of interest, then boom, it's gone instantly, because that's how you're being, you know, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. Okay, so I'm going to share a little bit about last month and how I did 12,000. So I think a lot of people don't really know how to do more than their 200 or whatever, 2,500. And I think it's really, really, really simple. Okay.
Well, you can you can unshare if you don't need the slides anymore. People can see your pretty.
My big old head. Don't you want to look at my kids instead? Okay.
Can do.
Okay. So one of the biggest things that I can tell you for doing big volumes is that it's not all you. Like, it is not you selling hundreds of packages. It's not you doing one post and sitting and waiting for that to get triple the amount that it got last time. You know, if you are doing the same amount of activity and wanting more volume, then that's the definition of insanity. Like, you have to do more to get more. And so that really clicked to me in Adelaide. I was like, oh, so it's really just a made up number. Like, volume's just numbers.
Rohan changi tarah mail line changa.
Pardon? I might just mute you there, love. Or if you could mute yourself, Manbia.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So it's really just numbers, and if you want to have more numbers in your login, then you have to talk to more people. Okay. So what that is you can, like, I'm sure people do, but I can't do 12,000 worth of retail. Like, that's out of control. I feel like the guys in America are like, that's our baseline. But over here, like, what you need to be doing is thinking about, this is where your mapping comes in. So when you draw your circle and you draw your friend, draw a little 500 above them. And that person that you're going to talk to could either lead you to someone who does senior consultant, or they are going to do it themselves, or you're going to help them get those 3 packs that equals that. So you're going to be wanting to get people to supervisor. So you're going to be talking to more people about being VIPs, being members, being coaches, and helping them get to the next level or it's like spinning plates whilst spinning your retail plate. So while you're still putting it out there, so you don't put your 100% focus on your one thing, on your one posting your shake for the day. That's not enough, like, to get more volume. You have to be recruiting people. You have to be helping them recruit people. You have to be helping them get customers. Like Joanna says it all the time at the STSs, your job is to help, is to get a customer, get a distributor. Write these down. Get a customer, get a distributor, help your distributor get a customer, and help your distributor get a distributor. That's literally your job. So my 12,000 was made up of lots of people. Like, I'm probably like 50 members or something. I feel like there's 100, but like 50 don't do anything. So maybe like 50 people, some of them ordering 76 points, some of them 200, some of them 100. And then some of them had someone do what's the one, qualified producer, got to 42%. I'm like, I don't know what they're called anymore. I'm like, just get the action, action. Yeah. And then someone else who is trying to get to supervisor as well, who lives over east. So I'm chatting to her about getting them to the Sydney STS. I put her in a group chat with 2 other girls who live in New South Wales, and I got them to all go to the Sydney STS together. And so that was my focus for the month, was getting them to an event to teach them how to do more volume for them, to get them bigger discounts. And that will equal more volume in my volume. So if you're only talking to 2 or 3 people, it's not going to be 12,000. You have to be thinking about what you do now. So say you do 2,500 or 1,200. If you want to do 2,500 from 1,200, you have to talk to double the amount of people. And really, that's it. Like, it's just, if you really probably have so much time on your hands if you're only doing 1,200. Like, what are you doing? Like, get busy. Because there is so much time in the day to send out those messages that we were just talking to. And what you're wanting to do is think about how you show up in the marketplace and how much value you give. This is from Jim Rohn from a million years ago, and every time it re-clicks in my mind, my business grows. Okay, so he talks about you only get paid for as much value you bring to the marketplace. Write that down too. So every time you're doing a post and you're like tired and you can't be bothered putting the recipe, which is like happens to me all the time, I get it. But think about, does that post of a shake give anyone anything if it's got no recipe? Probably no. You know, like it's just pretty. Cool. Your Instagram looks a little bit prettier today. Like that's not adding value to anyone's life. So every time you put something out there, whether it's a call, whether it's a conversation with someone, if you're just telling them off or telling them they should be at something and making them feel bad about not being there, or, you know, like things like that, that's not adding value. So you really need to remember, okay, so I was talking to Hannah and Christy and Alice and Elle. They all live in New South Wales, these 4 girls. And I was like, okay, how can I bring the most value to them and get them to be doing the most that's possible? That for me would look like them going to the STS together, making friends. They all don't know each other. They all live hours from Sydney in all different parts. They're all catching trains, getting babysitters, you know, like asking for help, blah, blah, blah. One of them was like, oh, I've got to do, I hope you're on the call, girlfriend. So one of them's like, I got to spend this day with my son. And I was like, well, you know, like it's really up to you. But so it's kind of like no pressure, but also a little bit of pressure is not so bad. So it's like, do you want to be able to stay home when your youngest goes back to school, or do you want to have to go and get a job? Like sometimes you just have to put that little bit on someone to remind them of their goals, because it's not me telling her she's got to be there and she's in trouble. It's her telling me the month prior, this is what I want. So I was saying, okay, maybe I've just got to handle this situation, help her remember what she wants to get her and all the other girls their reasons for being there together, so they can have their little buddies. They can talk about volume together, because they say, like, I read this in a book, but I can't remember what one, that you want to have around you at all times. You want to have a couple of people who are a couple of chapters behind you, a couple of people around you who are in the same chapter as you, and a couple of people who are ahead of you in the book. And that means having people who have just been through what you've been through, so you can help inspire them to get through what they're going through. You want to have people around you that you can relate to that are in the same chapter as you. So you have camaraderie, you know, like you have someone that you're struggling with this and same, because we're all at the same level. And then you want to be around people who are ahead of you as well, so you can be inspired by them. You can learn from them how they got there. And that's, I feel like, is really, really important for your new members, not only to be tagging along with you, but make them little Herbie friends. So they got a little Herbie gang, so they can ask each other the simple questions they may be too scared to ask you, and things like that. You want to get them a little gang, and then they can show up together as well. That's so powerful, to have people around you that inspire you, people you can inspire, and then your gang of friends that get it because they're in the same level. I hope that really makes sense. And then someone asked me to touch on 2 things. What do you say to someone when they stop replying? And what do you say to someone when they stop coming to events? And I really hope that this is simple, but if they've stopped coming, if you feel that something bad's happening, reach out as a friend and say, like, I hope you're okay. I haven't heard from you. Okay. That's one way. Or if they're just like not interested really, and they're saying they are, but they're not really, and it's nothing bad's happening, then cool. Just let them not come. Go get 10 new people who will come. You know, go with those 10 people. Post photos of you with those 10 people. That old person's going to be like, damn, she's going with or without me. I want to be a part of that and join back in. So like if it's something serious, obviously just be a nice person. And if it's not, then just go get more. If someone doesn't reply, cool. You got to understand, this is my last point, I promise. You have to understand that this is a numbers game. This is something that I learned really early on. It's science. It's called Sinaloa, science in numbers, and there's the law of averages. I just worded that really weird, but it's a book. Google it and buy it. And say you get 10 inquiries. I'm actually teaching my husband this right now because he's in business for himself, and he'd be like, I got 3 inquiries yesterday and no one replied. So it's not just Herbalife, guys. It's not a personal attack on you. It's just the science in the numbers. So I'm like, cool, well, you need to have 10 inquiries happening because 3 won't reply, 2 will back and forth for 10 years, 3 will buy, and 1 will ask some weird question. You know, like there's always everyone, if I have 10 clients, 2 always disappear, 2 always get crazy, amazing results, 2, you know, like you just figure out your numbers. So if you're only talking to 2 people and you're not hearing back from them, you just need 10 more. And that's really it from me. I really hope I covered everything you guys wanted me to and what I had written down in my notes.
Got something for you, ready?
Yay!
Okay. Can you stop your share so we can see some faces, please?
Oh,
Ellen?
yeah, cool. One moment. Oh, I don't know how.
Go at the top and stop share.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yay.
Nice.
So guys, I'm going to unmute everybody. I want you to give Ellen a big hand. Give it up, Ellen. Take a photo of that.
Thank you.
Okay, so Ellen, that was just incredible. I've got to mute some more. I just love the simplicity. Sorry, mute yourself, guys. Thank you. I love the simplicity of it, but I love your attitude. And the thing I love the most is that I've seen different transformations in you over, I don't know how many years, 8 years? I can never remember how long you've been in Herbalife now, but the initial one, and then things happen, and then you've gone again and in the last 9 years. And it's a great example that you keep reinventing yourself, and that Herbalife's been the constant. And that's the thing I got through your message there. Herbalife's always been there, and you said that over and over and over again. And doesn't matter where we're at in the business, Herbalife's always going to be there for us. And we're so lucky we had this incredible company, guys. It is the best company in the world, and it will be. Like, you watch in 10 years, might be 20 years, but people will go, wow, gee, you're lucky to work for Herbalife, or work with Herbalife, or partner with Herbalife, or be a Herbalife distributor, because they are the best company in the world. We've got the best food possible in the world. We've got the best, payment plan. We've got the best corporate staff and the best distributor. So it's amazing. So thank you so much, Ellen. It was, it's difficult at times to talk when you're on a screen and you can't see people's faces and the feedback, but the way you kept up you're positive and you're smiling, everything was awesome. So we're in for another treat, guys. We've got another powerhouse lady. So we're going to hear from Sophie Derrick in a minute. But I just love Sophie. She is an incredible trainer. Again, she's always got great attitude, always leading from the front with everything she does, actually. Like, she's looking great. She's trying to be the best person she possibly can all the time, which is awesome. But whenever she trains, I don't know, she just, again, like Ellen, she's got this simple way of training that gets across and gets through to people. So we're so lucky to have Sophie coming on and going to explain what, in these times, guys, what we can do. And yes, we don't want to be opportunistic, but there's opportunities out there for us to help others in a massive way here. And Sophie's going to talk about this. And Sophie, I think you might want to tell us, Sophie, it's like 14,000 buying points or something this month so far. So, like, you are absolutely killing it as well. So Sophie, if you can unmute yourself, and if you need to do slides, share the slides, and then, guys, I'll come on afterwards. So I'm going to unmute, actually, and give it up for Soph, guys. Welcome, Soph. Now unmute yourself, guys.
There we are. I'm unmuted. Thank you for the virtual clap. It's so good to see all of your cute faces. Let me sort the technology side out on my end. Let's see, share. And then, apologies, I'm on Marco's computer and I'm really not good with, okay, slideshow from beginning. Are we good? Okay, awesome. So yeah, I guess I will quickly share my results because there's so many new people on here. So my name is Sophie. I've been using the Herbalife products for 13 years now. Initially, I got started to lose some unwanted weight that I had gained from a dancing injury. So I'd gained 12 kilos. I didn't know how to shift it. Back then, the things that were like in fashion, on trend, I guess, were like the lemon detox, like no carbs, only protein, pretty much just like stop eating, and then you lose weight, you put it back on, you lose weight, you put it back on. So that was kind of where I was at. And I got on the Herbalife program because I felt like I had nothing left to lose. And I actually lost 14 kilos in 8 weeks, which is not gold standard, but that's what happened to me. And apologies also, I have my 2-year-old in the background. And I've been on the products ever since. And like Ellen mentioned, I've used the products through pregnancies, through breastfeedings, through ups, through downs. And over time, I feel like a fine wine. Like I just feel like I get better and better with age. Like I'm in my mid-30s, and, you know, like I meet new ladies at school and stuff who literally think I'm like a teen mum, you know? So it's pretty cool that, I don't know, you can literally just work on yourself and be incredibly healthy, you know, through whatever you grow through in life. So in the business side, my background is I worked in advertising. I always worked in retail. I did dancing. And, you know, I had this dream of being like Perth's version of Carrie Bradshaw. But the reality was far from that. I was living pay to pay. I had to have extra jobs just to make ends meet and have a little bit of lifestyle. And I wasn't interested in the business. Joanna invited me to something for like 5 years. I said no for like a solid 5 years. And then one day I just said yes, you know, so you just don't know. Like Matthew McConaughey actually posted a video on Instagram, and the caption for it was like, all red lights turn green. So I thought that was cool, you know, like all red lights eventually will turn green. So I was that red light that eventually turned green. And so I've been in the business now for like 7 years, working from home, making babies, no bra, no pants, like whatever, I'm the boss. And, you know, this corona epidemic that's going on at the moment, it kind of made me realize that my day-to-day life is kind of like quarantine life. I don't know if that's impressive or a little bit sad, but hey, I've got small kids and I work from home, and that's my life at this stage, and I love it. So thank you, Herbalife. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about the pandemic that we've got going on. I don't know if you've not heard of it, then you must be living off the grid, because it's a pretty big deal at the moment. So I just want to make sure that everyone is safe and okay, and just know that if you're involved with Herbalife and you're using the products, like that is a huge advantage to what a lot of other people are going to be going through in the next couple of weeks or months, who knows. But, you know, I wanted to take this opportunity to remind you that we have something so incredible on our hands. Like, the products will change people's lives, because the products are food in another form, but highly engineered food, you know, like it's incredible what we have. And also the opportunity to work from just about anywhere. By the way, congratulations guys. This is the biggest STS that Perth has had for like over a year. So well done for showing up. And if we were to have this in person, we wouldn't have been able to have like over 150 people, because now there's restrictions for social gatherings, has to be beneath 100. You have to have 4 square meters around you. So we definitely could not have had this many people at the STS this month. So give yourselves a massive pat on the back, because that's incredible, right? And it's just so great that we have the technology, and I guess being Herbalife distributors, we're so adaptable, where we just adapt to whatever happens, whatever comes our way, and we have an incredible attitude. So we were able to just put this online, everyone's tuning in, and it's amazing. So I just wanted to remind you that this is a time to not only expand in your business, but also to expand within your community, expand at home, and don't hide away. You know, like if you do have to do self-isolation, or if it comes a point where as a country we're on lockdown, you know, yes, we might be in our homes, you know, kind of confined to our homes, but we're not confined by any means in other ways, okay? So let's talk about making claims and the ethics. So this came out earlier this week about using the aloe gel as hand sanitizer. Hey, guilty as charged. Like I saw someone post and then I was like, oh my God, that's great. I did a video about this. Like guys, you know, like when I saw this straight away, I took it down. I was like, no problem. You know, like we always do the right and ethical thing according to Herbalife's guidelines, you know? So also making claims around the products. Like, you know, yes, we have incredible products, we have an incredible health solution, but please be mindful of how you frame up your posts and how you share your story, that, you know, Herbalife products do not cure or prevent coronavirus. You know, like, we have to really protect the golden goose here on this one, and just make sure that we're not saying anything too crazy. Like, you can't just go out there and say, yes, you can live on Herbalife. You know, like, we have to look after each other in this sense, okay? So, yeah, just wanted to touch on that. And by the way, if you see someone posting stuff that maybe is not going with, you know, like ethics and guidelines that we should adhere to, then just gently message them and let them know, because maybe they don't realize, you know. So take that leadership step, and, you know, if you see someone that's not doing maybe 100% correct thing, then yeah, like, be that leader and let them know. Okay. And of course, let's talk about events. So, you know, here we are, the STS online, and we are a social business, we're a people business. So, you know, no problem, we'll just jump online. So Herbalife was supposed to have the honors this weekend, which is, you know, the biggest event within Herbalife. And Herbalife called it in early, like a few weeks ago, and they, you know, obviously canceled the event being in person, and it went virtual. So I stole these photos from Rob and Christie's post, that, you know, they had the recognition and the, you know, the bonus awards online yesterday. So again, like, just so grateful that we're a company that we adapt, you know, we evolve so quickly, and they were able to do this meeting online. And I can see from, you know, my peers in other countries that they're also doing, you know, like STSs and webinars and all of that online, which is really cool. So, you know, depending on what you've got going on in your own business, if you don't already use Zoom or some other kind of Skype, you know, online meeting system, then I really encourage you to learn that skill and implement that as soon as you can, because it's going to really assist you in the next couple of weeks, or, you know, however long this goes on, to continue to build your business and to stay connected with not only your team and your clients, but also with the rest of the Herbalife community. So get that Zoom account going, and, you know, three-way calls, all of that. Like, you can do whatever you like on these programs and online things. So yeah. Okay, so I was going to share with you guys what has happened in our business this month. So I spoke to a guy about a year ago on Instagram, and he lives in Hong Kong. And he messaged me saying, I want to join your team, it looks like fun. And I was a bit like, oh, you know, like, is this like not a scam, but, you know, I was a little bit cautious. I was like, okay. And I was like, you know, I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. Everyone deserves this opportunity. So I said, yeah, we do have a lot of fun. Have you heard of Herbalife before? So of course I covered ethics. And he said, oh, like, I've seen it around, but I don't know. But, you know, what you guys do looks like fun. Like, I want to join the team. And I was like, okay, sure. Like, what's your email address? And so, like Ellen said, like, knowing the process and the structure to your business, I have that in place for when someone is interested in the business. So I started with my step one, you know, which was to send them an email with some information. And I said to him, let me know how you go, and I'll touch base with you in a few days. He was like, okay. Anyways, I had said to Marco, oh, I'm not too sure about this, but anyways, we'll see what happens. 3 days later, I follow up with him because that's part of my process. And I said, how'd you go with the email I sent? I didn't hear back from him. And I was like, okay, no problem. Did I stop, you know, like, inviting people, making new connections, doing my DMOs? No, I continued, right? Like, I continue to do what I always do in my business. You know, like, yes, he could have been incredible back then, but I can't just sit there and wait for someone to decide. You know, like, you have to keep inviting, you have to keep running your business and having those, you know, like, conversations and getting the no's, getting the quiets, getting the yeses. Okay, so we continue to do what we do. Anyways, at the beginning of the month, we went down south, the southwest part of WA, for a family, like, little getaway. And our first stop was in Busselton, where we caught up with some friends and their family. And I log into my emails and I can see that he signed up. And I couldn't understand anything because Hong Kong Herbalife is in symbols. I don't know if that's like Cantonese, but it's all in symbols, but I could see his name written in English. And I was like, oh, whoa, okay, like he signed up. And I sent him a message like, oh my gosh, welcome to the team. Like, I hope everything's all good and you're well. Let me know if you have any questions, but yeah, you can totally log in and start ordering or whatever. He was like, thank you, ma'am. I was like, okay, cool. Anyways, by the time we then finished lunch, got to Yelling Up, I logged in. I was outside of Coles in the car. Marco had run in to get some milk and stuff like that for the kids. And I log in, and that morning when we left, we were on like 800 volume points, which I thought was pretty good considering we'd had end of month extended, and it was the 5th of March, right? I logged in and our volume said 6,600. And I was like, what? Is it glitching? Like, what do you mean? I was like, what? And I called Marco. I said, oh my God, check the volume. And Marco's like, oh my God, I'm skipping through Coles. Like, what is happening? You know, like we were just like, we look in the orders, it's all him. We were like, oh my God. And then by the time we got to the house, our volume was on 10,200. And we were just like, oh, like about to pass out. By the next morning, we were on 12,000 points. Do you know what I mean? So like, this was literally in less than 24 hours. This guy just went gung-ho. Now, it was because they couldn't access food regularly. And he was like, I see that you have your shakes for breakfast. So like, we can have shakes for breakfast. You know, like we can use the products. All their orders were just like shake, PPP, protein bars, and some aloe. So like really just food in another form, okay? So again, like I said, don't go out there and say, yes, you can live off Herbalife. But you know, like desperate times, like he was like, this is a constant, like I can rely on these Herbalife products to feed our bodies. You know, so again, this might not be the most duplicatable thing, but if you know people overseas, like who knows, guys? Like this guy didn't do anything for a year. You know, like you just don't know. So now, like, of course, I'm like, you need to fill in this form. Like he's signed someone up who signed someone up, and I'm like, you need to fill in these forms. Herbalife's going to send you a check. He's like, what? Herbalife's going to send me money? Like, this is the best. You know, like he's just like, what do you mean Herbalife's going to send me money? You know, so like here in Australia, things are pretty good still, but like in other countries where this corona thing has taken hold for much longer, like things were bad where he was living, you know, so he's like not able to work, and now he's making money through Herbalife. He's helping his family, you know, like it's been incredible. And to be honest, like this happening in our business, like reminded me, wow, you know, like this company is incredible. What we have our hands on is incredible. You know, like, and sometimes we do take it for granted, right? Because every day we just wake up and make a shake and we rock up to the STS because that's what we do, you know, but to like people out there who don't know about Herbalife, it could literally change their lives, you know? So, yeah, like we're sitting on 15,000 volume points at the moment, and our vision has just like gone so much further now. Like I said to Marco, oh my gosh, like coronavirus, and we're going to do like no less than 20,000 points this month. Like I know that, you know, and I have to say thank you to Ellen too, because last month we made a pact. We were like, we're not going to not do 10K ever again. Like, let's go for 10K. And last month Ellen did 12K and we didn't do 10K. And I was like, it's okay though, because I've made the decision that that's my new normal now, is to do 10K. So thank you, Ellen, for like, you know, like making that commitment with me, because once you make the decision, like, things will start to happen if you put the action in place to support that goal. So, you know, I never dreamt that I'd be on 12,000 volume points by the 6th of the month. You know, that's definitely a personal best, but I'm like, hey, like it's possible. So if I can do it while on holidays with my family, like not really even trying, you know, like what could you do with that relentless pursuit of that goal? You know, so let's talk about the things that we can control. Because there's a lot of things now, you might be feeling overwhelmed and vulnerable and like unsure, and things are uncertain. Who knows what's going to happen, okay? But let's focus on the things that we can control. So, you know, we can control our product use because the products are simply food in another form. So if we do go into lockdown, are you going to come out 10 kilos heavier or 10 kilos lighter? Like, has everyone seen that meme floating around? You know, so I know that as Herbalife distributors, we should definitely be coming out of whatever lockdown, whatever thing happens, like level 10, amazing. Like use that opportunity to smash your products and be the healthiest you've ever been in your entire life, because it really does matter at the moment. Okay. What else can you control? You can control how many people you connect with every day, how many people you chat to, how many people you phone call. You know, like we might not be able to do our usual social things, you know, like school run and stuff, that might come to a pause soon, but we have the opportunity to work from anywhere as long as we have Wi-Fi, you know, really. So like you still have control over that. How many people are you messaging? How many posts are you going to be doing? Utilizing social media, because I know that if we have to go into quarantine, I'm going to do my best to not be on social media, to not be glued to Netflix. You know, like I'm going to read books. I'm going to stay active in my backyard. I'm going to be really present with my kids. But I can guarantee like pretty much everyone out there is glued to their phones at the moment. So I'm getting way more engagement on my social media and my posts because people are on there more. So they're seeing my things like more than what they usually would. So utilize that time to put out a positive message. You know, don't be complaining or like too political or, you know, like too crazy about what's going on at the moment. You know, be solution minded, give people value. Like the other day I did a video on how to make your own oat milk because people are struggling to find milk for their kids. You know, and that's not necessarily Herbalife related. I talked about how my kids have shakes with the oat milk, but it brought people value. Like that video has been shared so many times. People are messaging me like, thank you, I never thought to make my own milk. Like this is going to be like life-changing in these couple of weeks. You know, like, so just find ways to be a good person for your online community. And just know that if you're being consistent online, being positive, being happy, people will start to follow what you're doing. People will start to want to know what you're doing. You know, like they'll want a piece of that Herbalife goodness, you know? So also any way that you're feeling during this time is okay. Like honor the uncertainty, the anxiousness, like it's okay. Like none of us have really been through something like this before, okay? But just focus on being present, being happy, still, you know, like, what am I doing to grow my business? You know, like, and be willing to adapt. Okay, so maybe I can't do Fit Club this weekend. Like, maybe we could do a virtual Fit Club, or, you know, like we might not be able to do shake parties. Let's do a virtual shake party. Just some ideas, you know, like, and the other thing you can control too is your attitude, you know, like having that no problem attitude. You know, don't be complaining about toilet paper and stuff. Like if you see people, like old people, this like makes me want to cry. If you see old people with empty like trolleys and baskets, like be that person that buys them some groceries or gives them stuff that's in your trolley, because there are people always watching. Like, especially if you are branded and stuff, don't do this only because you're branded. Do it because we leave everyone better than we found them. You know, so like, please, like if you see someone struggling who's worse off than you, then step up and help them. Because this is the time to show that integrity. Like, you know, integrity is like what you do when no one's watching, but like, what do you do when people are watching in a desperate time? You know, that's integrity too. So I feel like we just have the opportunity, guys, to leave everyone better than we found them. Leave everything like everything better than we found it, you know? So I'm really excited for you guys to like switch things up a bit. You know, don't look at this corona as like a issue. Look at it as an opportunity to like step up in your community, step up in your business, and you know, step up the pace too, like create new personal bests and new records. Also, I just wanted to touch on if you're concerned about the supply of Herbalife, like are we going to be able to access our Herbalife products when we need to order? We have spoken to Doug, who controls that side of things for Australia and New Zealand, and he said that there is no issues as far as he can see. You know, the Star Track and everything should still be fine, like, so that's all good. You know, like have that reassurance that Herbalife has your back and that you can continue to distribute the products and have products for yourself, and everyone in your team and your downline and everything is going to be able to have products, okay? Yeah. Okay, cool. So you might have seen the company put out some, you know, material that you can use. Again, like Herbalife doesn't prevent or cure coronavirus, but you can have the best possible tools to protect yourself and protect your immunity. So You can download these from My Herbalife, and you can use these on your groups, on your social media, on your stories, like all of that. Maybe even create a newsletter via email, you know, just some ideas. But yeah, okay, so we're feeling good about coronavirus. Woo! By the way, I had to laugh, like I'm all business on top, but like quarantine on the bottom, like I'm in shorts and my slippers down the bottom. So yay. All right, so we're gonna do some recognition. So we've had some beautiful teamies join us from the Northern Territory. So this is for you guys. So let's all like do some really obvious virtual claps so that everyone can feel the love. Let's share the top 10 volume. So well done, Leanne. #1 volume. This is for February volume. Woohoo! Congratulations. Look at everyone there. Kayla. Oh my God, Kayla. Yay. Well done, guys. Take a screenshot and hey, like share this, you know, share this online because people are watching online. So this is very cool. And we've got the top 2 recruiters. We've got Samantha and Marita. So well done. Building the team, building their member base, just incredible. Okay, now we have the top volume. Let me just move this thing out of the way. There we go. Top volume for WA. Are you guys ready? Woo! Yes. Oh, we've got the virtual clapping. Awesome, guys. Again, feel free to share this. Like, I was number whatever last month for my state. You know, like, have that pride. Okay, top recruiters. Where are we? Ellen again. It's no wonder she's right. Woo! Yes. Okay, amazing. Okay, so now also we're going to do a little bit of recognition for anyone who stepped up in their levels on in Herbalife. So the first recognition since the last STS, so you know, for February and so far March, all the brand new senior consultants. Where are you? Put your hands up. Go crazy. I can't see everyone. Hold on. How do I change that? I don't know. Here we go. Woohoo! Yes, amazing. I know I've got a couple in my Thank you, Gav. DJ Gav. Okay, brand new success builders and qualified producers. So those of you who've got 42% or success builder, woo! I feel like such a mum, like woo, by myself. Okay, and then we've got brand new supervisors. Where are you? Well done. Awesome. So the next time we have, you know, like an event in person, it's going to be out of control because we're gonna get everyone, all the Corona supervisors together, and we'll give big recognition for anyone who missed recognition in person. Okay, so amazing. Well done, guys. Okay, now also anyone who qualified, I've got mine here. Samson was trying to steal it before, and I was like, don't you dare. The 40th anniversary medallions. Who qualified for this? Oh my goodness, so beautiful. Like everything about this, so beautiful. So what a beautiful keepsake. Lee's getting hers out. Yep. Yes, I love some foam. Good. Okay. Amazing, guys. Like I can't wait to share this one day, like when I'm like, you know, been in business for 40 years and I can be like, look at this, you know, just beautiful. So well done for everyone who qualified for that. And that's it from me. So thank you guys for listening. Again, like always happy to chat about stuff. Like if you have questions, like message me after this and, you know, let's go out there and make some really meaningful connections and help people change their lives. So thanks. Back to you, Gav.
Thanks, Soph. I'm going to unmute everyone so everyone can give everyone a big clap. So if you can stop sharing and we can
stop share
up the top, I think it is.
There we go.
Yeah. Guys, give it up for everyone. Great stuff, so.
Yes.
At 7 in the morning.
Right now.
Isn't it? Have you stopped with us?
Mute all. So, Sophie, that was pretty hard to do the recognition without seeing people, but it was brilliant, guys. If you know someone who's done those levels of recognition, then please message them, recognise them, give them the recognition they deserve. And well done, Soph. It was great to just get us thinking about this thing, and loving that. What a great company we're in, and you're thinking outside the box now. So awesome stuff. So I'm just going to hopefully find my little slides. Just going to finish off, guys, with just what's going on and what to think about for the next couple of weeks. So hopefully you can see my screen. Why is it not working? All right, here we go. So promotions. So just quickly, guys, just talk about the events that's happening. So the World Team Retreat, Vacation, Spectacular, Press Team Tour, they're still on the cards, guys. There's no talk of that not happening. So let's look at the World Team Retreat. We've got 18th to 20th September. It's going to be in Melbourne, which is just going to be incredible. And just wanted to go through the qualification because it's September to August. So you can still be new World Team and qualify for this. And we've had so many people qualifying now. And anyone that's World Team from the September 2019 gets to go to this event. And it's going to be an incredible event. Whether, I don't know who the guest speaker is going to be, but I'm sure that the world's going to have calmed down by then. Like Soph said, we might all be in isolation soon, et cetera, et cetera. But just wanted you to keep this front of mind. And especially with what Sophie said, if we are, in isolation, lockdown, or whatever it is, look, how we use our time is important, and we can actually start thinking about. Sophie was saying, wow, what if we could get good nutrition to our friends? Like I was just talking about to one of my mates today, who's actually he's in self-isolation because he's had pneumonia twice. And I said, mate, I'm sending you a pack of products going to land on your door. And he's like, do it, because I'm thinking about his health, So we can all get to this World Team level. So first of all, if you're not a member, we have to get the supervisor. That's the first thing we have to do. Why? Because you want to get your 50% discount. That's a no-brainer. And then you work with your coach to get to the World Team position, because I think this is going to be an incredible event, and it's something we're going to be awesome to get back together after all this stuff in Melbourne. So just keep that front of mind. And coming very, very soon is the Herbal Aloe Concentrate Grape. So we know grape aloe was brilliant where everyone went to Singapore and tasted it. So this is coming soon. It actually could be coming next month. It's definitely coming in the next 2 months. So what are we doing now? Using this to talk to our people, because this is a flavour that someone might want to taste something. So it's an opportunity to contact your customers, your members, your supervisors, and make sure they're aware of this coming. And we've got so many products coming this year, so it's really, really exciting. So this is just a reason to contact people that to make sure they're aware that this product is out there, because it is brilliant. The taste is amazing, and it's just a way in to start the conversation, okay? So if you talked about this is just showing you everything, guys. So you go to myherbalife.com, keys to success, then you get to resources, and at the moment this is under custom support tools, but it'll all be in one section soon under campaigns. But Sophie was saying, about how we use and promote correctly. If we just use the Herbalife information, then we can't go wrong here, okay? So I think that's brilliant. And don't forget the challenge that's happening now. There's one starting 1st of May, again, the National Body Challenge. So what a great way of keeping everyone together, community, all this stuff. The online challenges, I think, is going to be incredible. And again, the next one starts 1st of May. So start talking to your customers now, guys. Start sharing all the information that's coming out from Herbalife now. And don't forget about the prizes. There's some unbelievable prizes out there. So if you guys are on the call, you haven't been involved in the challenge, why don't you get involved in the next one? 1, it's going to make you feel like you're not on your own. 2, it's going to help you with your product result. 3, it's going to help you with your business, okay? And this is the annual prizes, absolutely huge. And the SDS, just going to finish with this. Who knows where it's going to be next month? It might be a national SDS. We'll definitely be doing the WA again if we have to, but online. But we could have a national one next month, which could be really exciting. So just look out for those information coming out. And thank you so much. I'm stopping the share now. Really appreciate your time. Like Soph said, 150 people jumping on the call. What a fantastic thing to do on a Saturday morning when you could be out there doing whatever you like before we get shut down our houses. But you're here learning about how to get healthy, how to help other people get healthier. And everything we do, guys, is about making the world healthy and happy. The Mark Hughes mission of getting one can of shake in every single house, guys. And so everything we talk about, every SDS we have, every Zoom we have, every coach call we have, every product training we have is just about that. And we've got a great time now to really roll this out more, get the brand out there, because we can help people with their health. And I think, like Ellen put it brilliantly, like it's almost like we owe it to them to talk to them about Herbalife. Like I thought that was a brilliant thing that Ellen did. So if you get a chance, guys, thank Ellen, thank Sophie, and congratulate everyone who stepped up this month. And really appreciate you jumping on. I'm going to unmute everybody. Unmute.
It's all right. But I got, 30 minutes.
Thank you again. Thank you.
Just run.
Thanks, guys.